Uh, 1 second. Oh, I had to forget something. I forgot it last minute. I think we're live. Ooh, snap. Why is it so bright? It's my inner light showing. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. We are hunters, voices strong. Are you guys ready for the K-pop Demon Hunters show? I just have a few announcements before we get started. Just a few little things to few little updates. God, why my light is really so bright today? I don't understand. I haven't done anything different. So, okay. Hello there, people. Hi, Victor, Miss White Swan. Nice to see you. Joanna, Maureen. Awesome. I sound good. Okay. So, I don't know why I'm like so nervous this episode. I don't know. So, I really hope that I can figure this out, because it's like I haven't really scripted in my mind exactly how I'm going to say all of the stuff that I want to say about the show, about K-pop Demon Hunters. But this is welcome to the after Thanksgiving special. I basically have been doing this every year, and usually it's a Doctor Who episode that I talk about, which I actually really did want to do another Doctor Who episode, but with the K-pop Demon Hunters and the fact that I couldn't do it last week, I was like, this week, yeah, we're going to do this just because, like I said, it's so symbolic. So anyway, but the first thing I wanted to say, I was kind of hoping, and hi there, Matthew and Honora. Nice to see you guys here. So happy. Just making sure. Oh gosh, I was really hoping that Holland Sass, aka Sarah, she is going to be watching this. She's got a new keyboard thing that lets her type all these funny things. I'm so glad that some of you watched it, but I really if Holland Sass pops into the chat at any point, let her know that there is a message for her at the beginning, because I'm about to tell you guys that that I talked about, we did this full moon ritual, me and my girls, and we put a bunch of different things in there, but one of the things that specifically we put in was we wanted to manifest me a certain monetary amount. I don't want to say the amount for privacy's sake, but we had put down a certain number that we wanted to manifest me as a tip. Okay. And for like a week, they were basically like, when is this tip going to get here? When is this tip going to get here? And part of me, inside of me, every time we were talking about it, I could feel it, that I was just absolutely like, I didn't believe it, and sometimes when you're like shaky inside, sometimes it feels like there's this rod and something is just shaking it, and it's like, it's not so much fear as it's like truth, when truth is really pouring through you. And so I guess I just have some really powerful truth to come through tonight. Okay, Sarah, Kitty, darling, are you really going to blow my chat up with all these emojis and things? Oh my God, she's really going to do this. Oh my God. But anyway, so I had this certain monetary amount, and every time we talked about it, I could feel myself. I'm like, there's no way anyone's going to give me that. There's just no way, and I didn't want to say that out loud to them. But finally I was like, why? Like, what's the holdup with me here? Like, why can't I let myself believe that money can be manifested as much as anything of the other crazy magical things that I have manifested? Why can't I let myself believe that one? And Spirit gave me an image from a show in my head when I was thinking about this. And it was from Adventure Time. And it was the very last episode, basically, where the demon god of chaos called Gold, he gets portaled into the Adventure Time reality. And And of course, he eats Simon and Betty and Finn, and so then they are basically being digested into their essence of their self, their primordial essence. They are slowly being digested, and the whole point of that was because Betty was trying to get Simon, right, to remember who he was, because he had turned into the Ice King, because he had put on the cursed crown of the Ice King, and it changed him into the Ice King. He forgot everyone. He forgot Betty. And that's all she wanted, was just for Simon to remember her. But because she had done this spell and portaled this demon god into their world, you know, she knew she had to be responsible for, like, she got what she wanted, but she had to be responsible for sending him back. And so Finn and Simon, who is no longer the Ice King, she actually succeeded. They found a way out of the stomach of Gulb, but she stayed behind because she was worried that the crown would revert to its other state and be cursed again if she left the stomach of Gulb, basically. She thought it would revert. And so she put on the crown, and she says to herself, no matter how it has to happen, keep Simon safe. You know, she had tried making a couple other wishes. She was like, I wish to banish Gulb from this world. I wish that Gulb would never hear. And none of it was working. And so finally she relented. And she said, whatever it takes, keep Simon safe. And what that did was mix her with the god. And she became she merged with it. And she became that demon god. And because she became that demon god, she was able to manifest and portal herself out of there and save all of the land of Ooh. And so when I saw just the picture of her, and she was wearing the crown, and she was like, whatever it takes, you know, keep Simon safe. And so I decided to use that. And I said to myself, I said, however it has to happen, however it has to come, let this manifestation of money happen. And, you know, I got a donation last week from Hall and Sass, aka Cristal, and it was the exact amount that we had asked for, that I did not think that we could manifest. You know, Sarah, tone it down with all the emojis, darling. Tone it down. So she's cracking me up. We've been having a really good Thanksgiving. I hope all of you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. So yeah, I guess I'm a little bit nervous here. So I just want to say thank you to Cristal, because really you answered one of my messages. You answered one of my prayers, and I never know who the prayers are going to be manifested through sometimes when I put this out there. So now it's like I have a new technique to get through these blockages. It's like I realized all those blockages that I was talking about last week with not believing, I was able to finally break through one of those when it came to money. So it was like I just opened myself up, like, because I couldn't imagine someone tipping me that amount. But it coming as a donation felt very much the same, you know, as if I had been tipped it. Because, I mean, what is a tip? A tip is a donation. You know, like, Jesus, I'm so bright. I'm so bright right now. Okay. But yeah, let's sending love to Cristal. Sending love to Hall and Sass. Okay. And nice to see Patrick is in the house too. Okay. Having a little heart palpitations here. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So how do I even want to start this off? So K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, I've talked about demon hunting before when it came to Demon Slayer. And what I believe demon or demonic consciousness really is, or how it has happened, is that it's basically the corruption of human consciousness. Okay. Now, I feel like not all demons have been human, though. There are demons that are real bad guys. And I think that the main character demon of this show, named Guima, I think that that he's based on a real demon. I honestly do. But he was never human. You know what I'm saying? But how does Guima get power? He gets power from humans who have been turned their actual holy consciousness has been turned and it's been inverted, and now it's turned into demonic consciousness, right? So I guess we should begin. Now listen, I'm going to chance playing this song in the background a little bit, and I'm going to hope that I don't get a strike for it or like a warning or anything, because that's why I had to stop light weaving on the show, because every song that I played, I got a notification on my YouTube that it was not going to work. So basically, I wanted to start telling the story from the point of Jin Yu. Jin Yu. Oh, this is backwards. I'll make sure. No, it's not backwards. Okay. So that is how this is how we're going to start this. That's how we're going to start the show here. Are you ready? I got the hat. I love the hat. And this is not a tag. That's just a little bit of a shiny ribbon. I'm like, I didn't know how it was going to show up on the camera. But this is the hat that I'd be talking about that I just am absolutely obsessed with. So it's a little bit shaky. But anyway, so this is why on the promo and on the announcement, I started it. I put on there Jin Yu's lament, because I really liked his part of the story, and his story is like it's just perfectly in alignment with Rumi, and I think that we can learn a lot from it, okay? Because it's about changing demonic consciousness, and how do we change the things that we have that we feel bad about in ourselves and make that right again. So let's go ahead and start the song though. Okay. There once was a mighty demon king. Stop me if you've heard this one before. It was total control. He feasted on souls. The world trembled when he roared. I'm going to mess up some. But then some hunters sang some songs. Now all he does is starve. Can't get at the souls, and his flame grows cold. Just a whisper in the dark. And will he let the fire go out? Is this the end of him now? Dying king with the crumbling crown. Will he let the fire go out? Almighty king, look at you fade. Built your throne on fear and blades. All that power, all that pride. Now your fire's cold inside. Your name once shook the night. Now you tremble at the light. Guima, what's your kingdom worth when all you rule is scorched earth? And will he let the fire burn out? Is this the end of him now? Dying king with the crumbling crown. Will he let the fire burn out? We danced while your shadows crawled, watched you stumble, watched you fall. Armies gone, your songs run dry. Yes, even kings must learn to die. Stage is ours, the night broke thin. The rain ends where we begin. So tell me, Guima, hear that sound. It's your crown hitting the ground. Is this your legacy? Ashes where your heart should be. Your throne's a joke, your throne's a lie. Watch us light the sky. Yes, he let the fire go out. This is the end of him now. Dying king with the crumbling crown. See how the fire burned out. Yes, welcome to the start of the show. So yeah, I knew I would get nervous and probably stumble along that one a little bit. I did practice it though. So let's get into it. Demon Hunters. This is the story of 3 women who are reincarnated again and again, and their magical gift is their voice, their song. And when they sing together, it brings harmony to the world in a way that seals the world from demonic possession. and demonic influence. Now, one thing that I absolutely loved about K-pop Demon Hunters was that the very beginning of it shows that when they sing, the land is laid out with all of these strings, all of these lines, which is exactly like when I had a very psychedelic experience. And they basically, Spirit showed me that there are these lines, these strings that line the entire universe. Okay. And in fact, I even had these Dogon alien entities come to me and they told me that they travel on these strings to come and see us, these light strings. That's why when I would do my light weaving, that is what I imagined myself doing, was manipulating these light threads. Okay, so what these K-pop demon hunters were doing is they're singing in harmony with their intention and their emotions, and they are locking out and protecting the land called the Honmon. All right. All right. So that's the basically the groundwork of where we start. So where we start is with three characters: Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, which for me is my girlfriends, Selena and Joanna, which I did post the pictures that Selena made for us. I haven't looked at the chat yet, guys. But anyway, I can't believe I actually did that, right? So fun. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, this is my channel. I want to live the life of my dreams. And this is part of what I want to do. I'm going out there and I'm fucking singing that song, even if I mess it up, like in karaoke and stuff, because I'm going to get nervous. But I was like, I'm doing it anyway. So, what we come to discover as they're singing, okay, and they're all best friends, is that Rumi has a secret. She has a secret that she can't share with anyone, something that she is ashamed of. And it's that she has these patterns. See, the way that they identify humans from demons is that the demons actually have patterns on their skin, on their body. And those patterns light with a hot pink. Okay? And also the main bad guy named Guima, he is basically a flame. He's just a fire. Okay? And that fire, you wouldn't believe what this color was. It's hot pink. Now, some of you might not remember this, but for people who've been following me for a while, my most important dream, okay, I traveled here with a group of people and we all slid down on these silver cords and we were chasing a storm. Okay, and we chased that storm into this valley, and that storm was hot pink, basically. Hot pink and black, and it was mixing and just whooshing around. And I got trapped in that storm. I slid down. I was the first one of my group to slide down into that chaos, I guess you could say. And a barrier formed around me. So right away, I recognized that this was Spirit talking to me through this movie. And that's why I paid attention. And that's why I'm even shaking right now. I'm like, I'm so close to some truth. I'm so close to some truth. So tonight, guys, as I finish talking about this, all of you that are joining here with me tonight, I'm going to give you a phrase. And when we go to say that phrase, I really want you to tap into your heart, and we're going to try and defeat a demon king. Because like I said, I believe that this bad guy is real. And I even had an experience since then when I was practicing this song about the fire, the king losing his crown, the fire going out. And I'm just going to tell you what what the experience was real quick, because for me it was a confirmation that I'm on the right path. There's something to this movie. There's something to what they're telling us about this movie that is true. So I'll tell you what it was. Okay, so as these girls are singing all the time, like, reincarnated, they get chased after by demons. They're demon hunters, and they know that. And they know that their voice can drive back the demons. They know that their harmony can protect the land, but they physically have to use tools to kill these demons. And guess what they make their tools, their swords, their weapons from? They make them from the threads that they're just all around us all the time. And when those threads are activated, they turn blue. Okay, and they're able to sweep up these threads and they make these swords. And with those swords, they are able to sing and they're able to kill these demons. Okay, so I was singing this song all week long, right? And you know, I've been remembering my dreams, but this wasn't actually like a dream. It was like that space between waking up and sleeping. And it's the only time I've ever seen a shadow entity like this. There was literally a shadow entity in my room next to my bed. And here's the funny part, guys. He did this pose. He did this Herculean like pose. Just like Dab, he went like that. It was like showing off his muscles. He was big, he was bulky, but he was a shadow. He was a shadow. That's all I could see was a shadow. And then when I noticed him, he went to go put his hands over my mouth. So it told me like our voice is so powerful. Us coming together is so powerful in our harmony. And when we like, that's why when we in the Blue Flame Collective that I've talked about, okay, when we do toning, you know what I'm saying, and we're doing that together, we are actually connecting ourselves together. We are actually becoming a true collective consciousness that can make a difference in this world. All right. So let's get back to the story though, right? So Rumi, Mira, and Zoe do not know that Rumi has a secret. There's a secret that Rumi has been hiding from them. Okay. And it's that she also has patterns. She has patterns, which I thought it was so interesting that they called them patterns. They kept referring to them as patterns because what is it that I'm always talking about? That how do we identify what our subconscious beliefs are that block us from manifesting and having the life of our dreams? They're patterns, right? They're the patterns that repeat themselves over and over and over again. So she has these patterns and she can't tell anyone because she's been told by the person who mentored her that no one will accept you if they know you have these patterns, because these patterns mean that she is half demon. Her father was half demon. Okay. And her mother died when she was young. So she was never able to really express herself or feel loved truly fully for what she is because no one knew everything about it. And certainly her caretaker did not love her for these patterns. You know, she told her to keep them hidden. Don't show them, right? Don't show your patterns. People won't love you if they see this about you, is what she was taught. And so Rumi and her friend and her Rumi and Zoe and Mira, you know, they're doing their world tour. They've gotten fans. They're popular. They're K-pop stars, for God's sakes. And you can see that every time they sing, they get to look out over the land and they see the shield that they have created that locks demonic consciousness out of the lands. But what they've really been working for is lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. There is one particular type of song that they need to learn to sing in order to seal out the demonic consciousness for good. And it's going to change all of those blue cords, all those blue threads. It's going to change it into gold. Once it changes it into gold, that is when they know they have permanently sealed demonic consciousness out of human reality, out of the human collective consciousness, so to speak. And I thought that was very interesting, considering if you know what I've talked about when it comes to being a solar feminine Melchizedek and the Christos realignment mission, and all the ways in which gold shows itself for me is when the Christ consciousness is working through someone. So for me, that was my takeaway. Okay, so what we're really trying to do is we're trying to activate these threads in a way to where the Christ consciousness energy gets to through all of them, and basically all of the human consciousness is purged from the demonic consciousness and they are able to be set free. Okay, everyone is able to see them, able to feel love, able to work in harmony. Okay, but they haven't been able to manage to accomplish that yet. All right, and so this path, this K-pop Demon Hunters movie, is basically showing us the pitfalls and the stumbles along the way that can happen, and how do we get to that point to where we can be fully in harmony, right? So even one of their songs, even one of the main songs that they put out, that they push up the date of, they're all getting ready to like take a break and relax and everything like that. But Rumi, she's very ambitious. And she's like, she just wants so badly for the honmon to be sealed properly, because she believes that once that honmon is sealed properly, that she will then lose her patterns, that she will no longer have to worry about her friends seeing her and knowing that she's half demon, basically. And she struggles with it. And so, because she's so ambitious, she even pushes herself physically to the point where her voice starts to suffer. Okay. And they push forward this song, and it's called Golden. You guys should definitely check out the soundtrack. The Golden song in itself was like perfect timing with everything that I've been talking about these past couple weeks. And that she basically is saying she didn't know how to be the queen that she was meant to be, and now we're going up. We're going up, 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 up in this moment, right? Everything's gonna be golden. We're gonna be golden. You'll have to listen to that song on its own, because I can't sing the higher voice. I can do a lower male voice like Jinyu, but I can't do the higher voice. So Rumi breaks down because she's pushed so hard now that now she's physically paying the price for it, and she can no longer. Oh, I want to make sure my necklace shows. My beautiful girlfriend bought me this, Selena. So I want to make sure that shows for today. So basically now we're at the point where she has pushed herself so hard, and she just desperately wants to be able to tell the truth. More than anything, she just wants to be seen for who she really is and be able to tell the entire truth. And she can't yet. Okay, so in order to try and fix her voice, they take her to a doctor and a Chinese herbologist or whatever, which turns out to be a little bit of a quack, but it was okay. It was part of the storyline. And so Jinyu and his gang, basically, of 4 other demons, they're talking. Let's switch over now. We're going to Guima. Let's go to Underworld. We're in hell, basically, now. And the fire, Guima, the fire god, the demon king, he is slowly fizzling out. And so that's when Jinyu's lament comes in. He's basically like, "Are you gonna let the fire burn out, bro? Or are you gonna listen to my ideal? You gonna hear what I have to say?" And Guima kind of laughs at him, and he's like, "Wow, I let you keep that voice, and now you mock me with it." And he's like, "No, I'm not mocking you with it. I'm just trying to say, if you want to feast on souls, then you're gonna need to rely on my help." And he's like, "Well, what's your idea?" And he pulls forward 4 other demons, and they do like a boy band pose, like boy band pose, And so the demon king is like, laughs at him at first, and he's like, "What makes you think that you would make it as a boy, K-pop boy band?" And then he does a little magic, little snappy snap, and it changes all of the demonic looking shapes and faces that they have, and it makes them handsome men. Okay. And so all the demons are like, they look at them and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely going to work. This is definitely going to work," because they're like all super hot, and they have a voice. They can actually sing, and he has a good ideal for once. So they go up to Earth. All right. And so now they're going to make their big debut, and they happen to be making that big debut when Rumi is just now done with the doctor's appointment, where she gets these tonics that's going to help her voice. Okay. And now what they call themselves is the Saja Boys. All right. The Saja Boys. And I don't know all of their names. I just mainly know Jinyu, because that's my favorite one. That's my favorite character. That's the love interest kind of for Rumi. And my character is Rumi. So I'm like, yeah, they got that one right. And he's not wearing this hat or anything yet. They're wearing like, regular Korean clothes and everything like that. And I'm telling you guys, I have watched enough Korean dramas that I can now tell you officially, they always have one particular move that they do. One particular move. They have to put it in I swear to God, it's got to be like written into the contract. Any Asian dramas, Korean dramas, Chinese drama, Japanese, whatever it is, they do this move when the love interests meet, where the girl has to do it's called the trip and fall, basically. Now, what happens after she falls is a little bit different each time. Most of the time, the guy catches her, right? The love interest will catch her, and then they'll have this long, intimate look into each other's eyes where the music is playing in the background. It's like, or sometimes the guy will like catch her for a second and he'll drop her, like that. And it's like, oh, wow, he's a little bit, I don't know what the word would be for, like, God, what is the word for it? He's like aloof. Oh, he's aloof. You know what I'm saying? He's cool because he's aloof and he's being a chill guy, you know? Well, she trips, Rumi trips, and this is their first introduction, and Jinyu reaches down his hand to help her up. And as soon as she goes to reach for it, because she's kind of like in awe now too, like, wow, where did this guy come from? And he pulls it back and he wipes off his sleeve like this. And he was like, yeah, you know, like just letting you know that we're here now. We're here to combat you and your K-pop band that's so popular. And so they happen to catch the first show of their K-pop boy band, basically. And so they're singing the song called Soda Pop, and it gets very popular. But as they're singing it, the girls notice the patterns flash on the men's bodies, and they know these are demons. And they're like, oh shit, you know, we gotta fight these demons. We gotta take these demons out. But they can't, because there's a whole audience of people, right? There's a whole audience of people that are watching these boys. They can't just kill them in the middle of nowhere. Like, they look like normal people to everyone else. And so now they're trying to devise a plan. Well, how do we get them alone? And how, so that way we can kill them, because they're clearly demons. And it goes back and forth for a while. Like at one point, the Sajid boys are on a game show, okay, and the girls come in and they're hiding upstage, backstage in the background, and Jinyu senses this. And so he sees them and he's like, we have a special guest for you guys here today. And he calls them out. He straight up calls them out. And so now they have to come onto the stage and participate in the game show. And they're like, kind of like, they don't know what to do. And they're like, okay, well, we'll do this for a second. And then once we leave the show, we'll kill them. Well, they end the show super quick and they chase after them. And the boys, the 5 demon boys, they go into a bathhouse. Okay, a bathhouse, a men's bathhouse. And the girls still chase them into this men's bathhouse. And so they start, and the guys are like, I can't believe you actually followed us in here, you know? But the girls are like, well, we know you're a demon and we need to take you out because we're demon hunters. So, dude, you're gone. Like, and that's when they call all these extra demons up, which it's funny to me because the boy band themselves are like human demons. But then there's other demons, like I said, like I mentioned at the beginning, that aren't human looking at all. So it makes me think that this is like a mixture. Demonic, like demons are like a mixture. They can be either having sprouted from a human consciousness or maybe having never been a human consciousness and always having been demonic. So now the girls are fighting all these extra demons that Jinyu and his boy band brought up to the surface. But Rumi, she has her eye on Jinyu. She's going after him first. So she leaves Mirror and Zoe to start fending off all these other demons as she chases Jinyu as he tries to escape. As they are trying to escape, her shirt gets cut off. Okay. And so now part of her skin is exposed and you can see, Jinyu can see, she has patterns. Oh shit. It hits him. It's like, you're a hunter that's half demon? This intrigues him. So her friends are calling for her and they're like, we need your help, Ruby. Where are you? And she's like, oh my God, like I can't go help them because my arm is showing that I have my pattern. Jinyu has sympathy for her. And he comes around and he hugs her real quick so they can't see they're behind him, right? And he hugs her and he wraps a piece, like a bandana, around where the part of her outfit was torn. So her pattern cannot be seen. So he keeps her secret safe for her. All right. Now that is very interesting that a demon would keep a secret like that safe. But of course, it's because he's curious. And there is still some of his own individuality left in him. Mm-hmm. And so, okay. Like I said, guys, this is the first time me having run through it like verbally. Like I've just been doing a lot of thinking about it. So please bear with me and forgive me if I get you lost at any point. I promise, let's GPS this right back to the ending. I know where we're going. So just let's go along for this bumpy ride that I'm taking you on. So they end up defeating the demons. Okay. But the boy band gets away. All right. And so now they're like, how are we going to take them down? And they come up with this ideal. They're like, you know what? We got to write a takedown song. Okay. We need to write a diss track so hard that it just completely puts them in their place. And then everyone will forget about them. None of the fans will care about them anymore because that's what the battle is really over. Think about it. It's over the fans. okay, which is the audience that we're singing to. And I want you guys to keep in mind too what concerts are like nowadays, because we're going to get into that towards the end about how they are actually showing us what they are doing at these concerts. Okay, they are literally harvesting energy. All right. So the girls are going to come up with this song, and it's all going to be about how demons are just so terrible and they're so horrible and they deserve to rot and they deserve to suffer. But Rumi is struggling with this. She's struggling with this because she knows that she's half demon and she's not able to tell her best friends that she is half demon. She has this secret, and it's shameful to her. Okay. Now we get the part of the story where two interesting characters pop in, and these are other. I don't know if they're demons. I don't know if they're just like animal spirits, but Jinyu happens to have two animal spirits that come along with him. A, a tiger, a very, very interesting looking tiger that is called Derby, and a crow with three eyes. Okay. And the crow actually walks around wearing a hat like this. All right. And so these beings, these animal creatures, they're able to portal into her room. And she's like, what the heck? They're not mean or anything. They just walk around and do whatever they want to do still, but they are partners and they are friends to Genu. And so she asks the tiger basically, like, what are you here for? And he sticks out his tongue, and there's a note on it. And the note is from Genu. And it says, meet me. Meet me over here. I want to talk to you. And she's like, oh, absolutely not. I can't meet him. And she thinks to herself, well, you know what? Yeah, I'll go meet him and I'm going to kill him. And so she hops out of her room. She gets some of her light threads, right? She pulls them, she weaves in a sword, and she sees him standing on the roof. She does these backflips, and then she cuts off his head. But she doesn't kill him, because guess why? Because it wasn't really him. He put a mannequin there because he knew that she would come after him somehow. Okay, so he was like, wow, I thought, I didn't think you'd hug me or anything, but I didn't think you'd be that vicious, and she's like, you're a demon. Why wouldn't I try to kill you? And he's like, because you're half demon. And he's like, if anyone would understand, it would be me, you know? And so then he starts to get into a little bit of his backstory. In which his backstory is this basically. He confesses to her that when he was alive about 400 years ago, that him and his family were starving, that he had one possession that was his one possession only, and it was like a guitar, like the Chinese type of guitar. And so he went out and he played on the streets like a beggar asking for money. And he said that was the first time he heard the voice of the demon god, the demon king. And that voice said to him basically, you are nothing without, like you are nothing. You can do nothing for your family, but I can make a deal with you. And he doesn't say it out loud, but basically the deal was to sell his soul in exchange for living in the palace and having a rich life with royalty. And so he sells his soul, and the next day he says everything changed, and he got to live. I just heard something crawl under my bed. I didn't know my cat was in here. Sorry. Kind of threw me off for a second. Anyway, so he basically sells his soul to this demon king, and it is he rewards him. He ends up getting to live in the palace, and him and his family are happy. He shows them happy. They get to eat and have their bellies full and sleep on silk sheets. But the fact that he still had these feelings inside of him, he still heard this voice telling him he wasn't good enough, that his family, he was useless to his family. And you could see the patterns start to show up. Like I said, they were basically like these markings of pink. And he said eventually it overtook him. And when it overtook him, he was useless to his family, and they suffered even more than they suffered before he became rich and famous for his singing. And so he basically is trying to get Rumi to confess to him, like, what is your shame? Because that is what the deal he made with this demon king in order to form this boy band. He's like, he told the demon king, she has patterns. She's clearly half demon. And the demon king says, yes, I know that, but I can't control her. And he said, that's okay. She can be controlled. We just have to find out what her secret shame is. So he's trying to get on her side, get on or to earn her trust in order for her to tell him what her secret shame is so that they can use that against her. But she basically at first says, "No, I'm nothing like you. I don't agree with anything you're saying. Like I hear that you made a like that you made this deal with him and everything like that." And he even like I said, he even asked her, "You don't hear his voice in your ear? You have these patterns, but you don't ever hear his voice?" And she's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And so they go on their separate ways, and they're still fighting musically. Okay, they're still fighting on the charts. All right, and the Saja boys are starting to win now. Okay, they're starting to gain more fans. They're starting to gain more prosperity, and the girls just keep working on their takedown song. But her friends, Rumi's friends, that can tell that something's wrong with her, and they're just like, "What is going on with you?" Mira, the strong one, okay, because Zoe is like a sweetheart. She's like just a really sweet sweetheart, but she's like badass too. Okay, so she's like kind of like ghetto good. You know what I'm saying? And Mira, she's like the strong one, and she's the one that is like no bullshit, and she'll call someone out if she has to. So she goes and she basically confronts Rumi, and she says, "What is secretly going on with you? Like, do you have what is the problem?" And she's like, "I'm just working on our song." And she's like, "Well, why are you changing the lyrics? What is the problem with the lyrics?" Not only that, she says to her, "But I heard you talking to a demon when we were fighting." Like, because now Rumi is like, "What's this voice that Jinyu is talking about? What's he talking about? I can't hear his voice." So she starts to ask the demons that she's fighting, like, "Do you hear his voice too?" And Mira has to come in and slay the demon because she's like hesitating. And so Mira's asking her, like, "What was all that about?" And she's like, "I promise you there's nothing going on." So now it's look like she's stacking lies upon lies. See, because first she can't tell people the truth. Sarah, darling, Sarah, calm down with the calm down with those emojis. Sorry guys, I maybe I should just let her go. We are having fun K-pop. This is kind of made for her. So I love you, Sarah. Anyway, let's keep going. So, let me get back to on track where I was. So she basically soothes Mira and lies to her, okay, and tells her, "No, there's nothing wrong with me. We don't have to worry. Um, well, I'll do the song. I'll do the takedown song." And Mira's like, "Yeah, exactly, because then we'll get all those demons in their place and they can spend their eternity suffering." And she's like, "Yeah, that sounds great," because she doesn't really know what's going to happen if she's half demon and they steal all the demonic energy from being in the collective human consciousness. What's going to happen to her? She's kind of starting to wonder. So she decides to meet with Jinyu again. Okay, the tiger and the crow, they like to hang out with her now. They don't even hang out with him all the time now they hang out with her. And so she sends a message back to Jinyu through the tiger and says, "Meet up with me again." Okay. And so they meet up. And she says, "I have this plan. I have this plan that I think might work because they're about to go head to head at this base, like an American Idol Awards." Okay. So it's an Idol Awards, and whoever wins is going to they were planning on winning the whole time. The girls were, because that was going to be the pinnacle of when they're able to finally do the golden Honmon sealing. All right. And so she says to Jinyu, "Listen, I have a plan to free you. Like, you shouldn't have to suffer, basically, and be punished for eternity just because you made a mistake." And she said, "And if there's hope for you, then there's hope for me. See, because you just made a mistake, but I was born a mistake." That's how she really feels, that she was born a mistake. So her plan is this. She says, basically, you and the Saja boys need to throw the event and let us win, and then we'll sing our song that will seal the entire Honmon, and you can basically stay up here. You won't be under the control of Wima anymore. And he's like, "Don't you think if I could do something like that I would have already done that already?" He is really kind of hesitant about her ideal, but he starts to come her way a little bit, and they manage to be able to hold on. This is where the song "Free" comes in, where basically she admits that for some reason it's so easy to talk to him and it's easy for her to open up to him. And while at the same time, he is also starting to feel that way. It's like his own human consciousness and love is coming back into his body. And for the first time, as they sing this song together, at the end of it, he realizes, wow, for the first time, I don't hear Guima's voice. I don't hear him talking bad to me. And so he decides, because of that, because they had this experience together, that he is going to he's going to do her plan. We're going to throw the award ceremony, the show, and we're going to let you guys win so that way we can succeed in sealing the honeymoon off. The problem is Guima is still attached to Jinyu. So he pulls Jinmu back down and he tells him, like, what do you think you're doing? You think that plan could work? You really think that you can be free from me? And he's like, relax, guy, like, relax. I basically just found out her secret shame, which I told you. Like, that was the whole point, was that he was trying to connect with her to find out her secret shame, which was she felt like she was born a mistake, that she's not good because of her heritage, because of her father being a half demon. And she has these patterns, and these patterns are what define her. And if her friends saw these patterns, surely they would turn her away. Surely they would outcast her, right? But now they have that secret. Not only that, okay, they have that secret, but now as they're getting ready to go to this, Rumi finally talks to her friends, and she starts to tell them the truth. She says, this takedown song that we're about to do, I don't know, something about it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't sit right with me. How can we really seal the Honmon with a song that is full of hate, and isn't good? It doesn't make you feel good. And I believe that is true too. Like, intentions and emotions are really important when it comes to music. I know that music is magic. I have used songs so many times to manifest things for me, to manifest miracles. That's why this movie is just so meaningful and has impacted me so much. And I truly hope that people out there will take a look at it and will watch it. Okay. So let's get back though to the movie. So now they've decided, her friends are like, okay, Rumi, like, we understand you don't want to do that song. Let's just sing our song Golden. Let's just sing that for the awards ceremony. And she's like, she feels so much better about it. And she's like, oh, everything's on track. We're going to free Jinyu, and he's not going to have to worry about that Demon King. And we're going to save all the people, all the fans of ours, all of, not just the fans, all of human consciousness, all of humankind is going to be saved from this. And so they're singing that golden song, and they get to the end of it, and then something cues. It's the takedown song. And Rumi's out there, she's on stage, and Mira and Zoe come up, and they're starting to sing the song, and they're like, it's ready. Are you ready for the takedown? Da, 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 da. And so Rumi's very confused, and she's looking at the girls, and they're like pushing her around. And finally they strip off her coat, and they're like, you're just a demon. See, we see you for what you really are. And Rumi just screams. She can't even finish the song. She screams, and through her voice comes out the demonic consciousness roar, and which comes out as pink, by the way, and it ripples throughout the light threads, and it breaks all of the lights, and it basically destroys the band. And so she runs off stage, and what does she find when she runs off stage? Her friends, her real friends. Those other people that were up on stage weren't the real Zoe and Mira. Okay? They weren't the real ones. They were demons that had transformed themselves to look like them. So that way they could expose her and expose her secret shame to her friends. And so you would think, though, like, her friends, they might be kind of understanding, but that's the case. Isn't this the truth, right? It's like, sometimes it's better to just tell the truth and let people be able to come to terms with that and accept that, than to hide it from them and let them find out later on their own, because now their friends are like, what else have you lied about? Like, it's not like the fact that you have patterns, the fact that you're half demon, like, that's not even the real issue here now. The real issue here is, what else have you hid from us? What else have you lied to us about? And so they turn her back on Rumi, and they have a parting of ways. And so obviously the Saja boys, they come and they swoop on in to now take all of their fans. And you can see that they're taking over all their fans because of how it glows in their heart. When the songs are being sung and people are really in alignment with it, it lights up the heart. And now it's lighting up that hot pink color. Whereas before, when the girls were singing, it was a blue. It was a light blue color. Okay, which, like that's the blue flame. Okay. And so Rumi, in her despair, goes to the mentor that guided her to get this far, and was basically like her mom's best friend that promised to take care of her. And she confronts the mentor, the mother figure, and she just says to her, like, "Why did you even let me live?" Like, and she pulls together a light thread sword and she hands it over to her, and she says basically, "Do what you should have done a long time ago and put me to death." Like, I'm a mistake. I shouldn't even be here. And the friend, the mother figure, she's like, "I can't do that. Like, I promised your mom that I would take care of you. And yes, I knew that everything in me was telling me that you were wrong, that your existence was wrong." So she's not exactly like getting it, like really making it better. She's like, "Everything inside me told me you were wrong, but I couldn't do that to your mom. I had to take care of you." And she was like, "Because I love you." And Rumi says, "But you didn't love all of me. Why couldn't you just love all of me?" And when she does this, her demonic voice comes out again. And what it sounds like is kind of like it's got like speaker static in it. When the demonic voice comes out, it doesn't sound harmonious. It doesn't sound beautiful. All right? And that's how you could tell the difference between when she was singing in a way that was going to light the strings up blue, as opposed to when she was speaking from her demonic consciousness, which comes out as that hot pink. Okay, and now not only is she's speaking with this demonic consciousness, but the fact that happened, the fact that these Saja boys are putting out these demonic songs, it starts to weaken the barrier in all these different spots on the Hun Moon. Okay, so they are actually undoing and reversing all the hard work that these girls put in to getting the land ready to be sealed off. Okay, which is the Christos realignment mission, in my opinion, if we're going to make it something real. That is what we're trying here to do, So the mother figure can't go through with it. She can't give her the love that she was looking for. She doesn't love all of her. And so Rumi has to learn to come to her own reconciliation of these facts. Okay. And so it just so happens to be the night that the Saja boys are putting on a concert in memorial of the Huntrix band breaking up, because I probably didn't even mention this. Their band name is Huntrix. Okay. And so now, since the Huntrix band is completely been destroyed, all of the fans that were the Huntrix fans, they all have these little paddle things that are for the Saja boys, and it's red. Okay. And what is every single concert that we see? Think of the Travis Scott concert. Okay. Think of the Weekend concert. It's like, think of Taylor Swift concerts. Okay. What do you see? They're red. They're fiery. They look like literal hellscapes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how you know that the people that that music really does do something. It really is an energy harvester. And so that is what they're showing us with this film. This is what they're really doing here in the real world when they get you on board, all of us in a group, all of us in unison, our hearts in cohesion. Okay. And they are giving the energy to these people. They're giving it to demonic consciousness. So Rumi, to the boys, they sing their song. It's called Sanctuary, where they wear the sweet, cool hat. Okay, which I just love it. I just love this hat so much. Anyway, so they're in their sweetest fucking outfit, and they sing their sweetest fucking song, which is sad that I love it so much still. It's like so catchy, and it's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking hot song. So they get to the end of that song, and I forgot to mention this too. Jinmu, she does get to confront Jinmu too. Jinyu. Rumi does get a chance to confront him after he broke up the band by snapping his fingers and turning Mira and Zoe, that were actual demons. He turns them back into demons, and he says to her, like, this was the whole point the whole time. It was just, I said everything that I needed to say in order to get you to trust me, so that way I could fulfill this mission and to break you guys apart. And she argues with him, and she says, no, I know what you felt was real. I know what we had was real. And he basically, he denies it. But he denies it in a way where you can kind of tell that no, there was something there. He did have hope. He had hope for a minute, but he still has Guima talking in his ear, and he believes him because he's been suffering with him now for over 400 years, and because there is a secret shame that he has not revealed to Rumi yet. So what is the truth now that gets revealed to Rumi? He says to her, listen, you think that all I did was make a mistake? I didn't just make a mistake and let myself turn into a demon. He said, the thing that I actually did was I abandoned my family. I sold my family out basically so that I could live every night in the palace on silk sheets with my bellies full. And I just didn't even they paid the price for the fact that I made this choice. That's the truth. That's the shame that he was really dealing with, that he could not forgive himself for. In fact, the deal that he made with Guima in order to become the boy band was the thing he wanted in exchange was he wanted to forget those memories, because those memories are the ones that haunted him still for 400 years. And ain't that the goddamn truth? Ain't that the truth? Sorry, I just saw Hall and Sass pop in. So someone in the chat let her know there's a message for her at the beginning. Anyway, isn't that the truth though? The mistakes we made, the things we feel guilty about, the things we feel bad about, isn't that not the hardest thing to let go of? Is that not the thing that you'll replay and repeat in your head? Especially if you don't know how to have self-compassion or self-forgiveness. Or maybe you even need that you feel like you need that from someone else. You need it to be witnessed on some level. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how much I love to interrupt my streams for my cats or anything. And I have my cat literally scratching at the door, and I'm sure you can hear it on the thing. So hold on a second. Mia, why in Christ's name? There we go. Anyway, we're back. He let the fire burn out. All right, so here we go. We're getting back onto it. So now Ruby knows the truth. She knows she was lied to. She knows that she lied and she feels bad about that. She knows that she feels like she's a mistake. She is at rock bottom. She doesn't even know how to go on living. But yet something comes through her where she finally goes to the concert where the Saja boys are singing their song, and her voice is able to break through. And right as they're getting ready to change over songs, she basically confronts Guima, because guess who's up on the stage behind them? Guima. And he's now been feeding on souls. See, before he was growing colder and colder and colder because the girls were doing their job so good that he couldn't get at any of the souls. But since Saja boys have been up, okay, he's been feeding again. And and you can see it when people or other humans, they're like singing the Saja boys songs, and the demons will be like right behind them, and they'll be like sucking their life force out of them, and they'll send their soul back to Guima. Okay. And so Guima basically says to Rumi, like, why are you even here? Like, you can't win anymore. Like, I've destroyed the Hunmon. And she's like, basically she confesses, yes, you're right. Like, you did destroy it so that we can make a new one. And this is when the song comes, This Is What It Sounds Like song comes out, where she finally opens up and she starts singing, and she just says, nothing but the truth now, nothing but the proof of what I am. The darkness she's afraid, the darkness she's ashamed of, the patterns that people can see, the patterns that she can't hide anymore. She tried to fix it. She tried to fight it. I'm like literally going over the lyrics in my head because I'm like that. It was just such a powerful moment where she finally opens up and she says, I don't know basically why I didn't trust you guys the whole time. I don't know why I lied and didn't just trust my friends the whole time with the truth. And that was where I went wrong. But now I'm here to make it right. And my voice, without the lies, this is what it sounds like. And in singing that, it starts to get the attention of the audience. It definitely gets the attention of her two bandmates, which are in the audience. And so they start to join her on the stage, and they're singing in chorus. They're singing in harmony now. And they're basically like, the song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like. My voice without the lies, this is what it sounds like. And that is what's so powerful. Them finally having shed all of those lies, all of that shame, they shed it. And they come forward now to fight Guima for good. And Guima basically laughs at them. And he's like, you guys can't defeat me anymore. I'm too strong now. I've feasted on too many souls. And so he portals up a bunch of just random demons. And so they keep singing the song. And the audience, you know, they're really getting into this song now. And so they start to actually, their hearts are starting to light up blue. And so it's like giving the energy to the Huntress singers. It's giving them their energy. And just as she's getting ready, Rumi is getting ready to go fight Guima head on, he sends this fire beam, this pink fire beam of light on her, and it's too strong. It's just too strong. And her Rumi or Mira and Zoe, they see her struggling, and they're fighting their own demons, so they can't get to her. And so Rumi's just struggling to hold them back. And that's when Jinyu steps in. He steps in and he gets in between Rumi and Guima to protect her, to save her. And she tells him, no, like, what are you doing? You know, and he was like, I'm doing the right thing. You know, I had to step in and protect you now. And she was like, but I wanted to save you. And he's like, you don't understand. You already did save me. You gave me my soul back. Like, basically, she helped return love into his heart. And in doing so, it gave him his humanity back. And he says, since you gave me my soul back, now I'm going to give it to you. And she's crying because, you know, she really wanted him not to die. You know, I think she really wanted to bring him back and let him live free up on earth without that shame, without that inner voice. Even knowing everything that had happened, she was still willing to forgive him and wanted him to be around. But that just couldn't be how it was. So he dissipates and he gives his soul to her, and this soul forms a barrier, and it, like, all these 3 blue lights, and they're all just weaving around her, and it's weaving around her friends. And now she has this extra strength, and it makes her sword even bigger. And so now she goes full on head first to defeat Guima, and she chops him in half, but he comes right back together and he laughs. And he's like, you can't defeat me. Don't you understand? And the truth is she can't defeat him on her own. No, she needs something more than that. She needs the collective to join her voice in order to defeat the Demon King. And so that's what starts to happen with the audience. The audience sees this struggle. They see this battle. And so they all start singing the song. And they all start saying, this is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. Without my voice, without the lies, this is what it sounds like. And that, you can see all these blue lights just flooding over to the girls. And it's getting them, it's protecting them. And it's giving them more strength and more power. And because they are able to have the audience participate and feel with them, they are able to defeat the Demon King Guima. And they are able to complete their mission and to seal the Honmon for good with the golden threads of light that stops demonic consciousness from coming up into the world. And that was pretty much the end of the movie. And I was so moved by this part. Okay, I was so moved by this movie in itself because, like I've told you guys before, the synchronicities for me, the things that match up, the patterns that match up for me. One of the things that I've noticed, even with a lot of the themes that go throughout all of the different shows and all the different things, all the characters that I've shared myself to be with you guys, is there's one thing that always seems to bind people together. It seems to bring the people together and to help fulfill the mission. And that is through music, through harmony. Even with the demon god of chaos, Gulb from Adventure Time, you know how Finn and Simon Petroglyph escape? They escape because Bimo starts to sing a song for Jake. And Jake and all the people in the Candy Kingdom, they hear the song and they all join in. And that's when they start to realize that the demons, they actually get hurt by the sound of harmonic frequencies of people singing in harmony, they get destroyed by it. It causes them physical pain. And so at that point, Princess Bubblegum is like, everyone, let's sing out loud, sing together. And so they all start singing really loud, and Jake is able to shapeshift himself into a big amplifier, basically speaker type thing, and he puts it on the demon god of chaos Golb's belly, and that is what opens up the hole, the portal for Finn and Simon to come out. And Betty should have came out too, but she couldn't, because she knew that she had to make sure that the demon god of chaos was portaled back into the other world. So this is what I'm noticing, right? Songs are powerful. Harmony is powerful. Singing together, doing toning, even whatever it is, saying mantra phrases at the same time. This is powerful. These things really do work. This is real magic. Music has moved my life and given me the most magic that I could never even have imagined. I could never even have imagined all of the magic that would have stemmed forth from music for me in my life. That is what really kicked it off. And so if you are in resonance with this message, if you are feeling me at all on this, I want you to just say in your heart, you don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to take the chance of singing like I did at the beginning, but I want you to think about that. I want you to think about all the hearts being in alignment and tuning out that demonic consciousness voice, because that's the other key, is you have to learn to recognize which voice is which, because they will sound like your own voice, your own inner critic. Okay? They will hijack that. They will say things to you like, you're not good enough. All you can hope for is this. You think that guy liked you? He never liked you. He never liked you. Are you kidding me? Rejection. You don't belong here. No one really, you don't deserve to have that money. You don't deserve to have that thing. You don't deserve to have that nice house. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. That is demonic consciousness. Because do you think for 1 second, as a spark of God in this vessel, okay, because these are just temples. This is our temple of God, because we are God. Do you think that if you open your mind and your consciousness up and you say to God the same way I did all those years ago, God, I just want your thoughts. I just want your feelings. Show me who I really am. Do you think if you truly invite God into your heart that God is going to say bad things to you? Do you think that would be God talking to you? Absolutely not. So pay attention to those voices, because the voices that are putting you down, that is the demonic consciousness. That is the inversion. Okay, so when those things happen, from now on, I want you guys to think about this live stream, and I want you to think about the words, my voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. And I want you to reach into your heart, and I want you to feel love. Find something that sparks feeling love, like you are actually a part of God. Think about, like, I feel like animals, you know what I'm saying? Like, animals are a really good way to get in touch with primal love. And I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about all of us and all of humanity. And I want you to say, this is what it sounds like. My voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. And it sounds like love. Because we are going to defeat the Demon King. And indeed, I think we already have. It's done. It's happened. Because that is the manifestation. That is why I got sent a shadow entity after me, because this message is so powerful and true. Okay, so the Crystals Realignment Mission, if you want to call it that. We are trying to, like a parasite cleanse, we are trying to purge the human consciousness of the demonic voices and inversions that have plagued us. And I'm not saying that there isn't a shadow, that we don't have our own shadows that we have to work with, because there are going to be some things where it's like, you feel like, okay, for instance, I can just tell you with cigarettes, okay, this is how maybe demonic consciousness could work. Smoke as many cigarettes as you want. It makes your body feel good. Go right ahead. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Just smoke away. But does that really make me feel good? Did that really make me feel good inside? To be smoking? Smoking? You know, I told myself a couple months ago, Spirit actually told me, they said you have till November. I said, what's going to change in November? You know, like, I don't see why I would stop smoking in November. But now I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people that I respect that are telling me the truth. Like, it isn't a good thing. What does that say about myself that I can't control that smoking? It's like once in a while, or like a normal amount. But guys, I wasn't smoking like a normal amount. I'm like literally slowly killing myself with these cigarettes. You know? But the demonic consciousness is going to be like, but that's okay. You're fine. But there's something inside of me that said, no, this isn't good. This isn't a good thing to be doing to yourself. You know? So that is why I'm like, I have to get control of this. I have to realize that this temple is so precious and it's so sacred that, you know, when they had that saying, like, you walk on holy ground, and it's because we are the things that make that ground holy when we walk on it, because we are holy. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. We are holy. We are what makes the whole ground holy. We walk on holy ground. We should treat our temples like that. We need to, you know, like, so there are certain things, yeah, that are like certain types of bad feelings that are meant to drive you to do better. But if there's things that are just beating you up and just punching you down and are blocking you from manifesting and living a life where you feel good about yourself, where you can see real miracles and manifestations, I'm just telling you guys, we have to learn to discern between those voices, you know, because there's so many telepathy, especially as it's all getting turned on in all of us. There's so many different things and places that this could be coming from. You know, like, and they're even telling me, like, it could even be coming from another person. That's why how we treat each other is so important. Okay. If you treat someone badly, if you do things that are going to hurt them, and they have these thoughts and these feelings and they're sending it at you, you know, and you might be sensing that, you might be hearing that person's voice, and you know, you do the best that you can with it. You know, you do what you can to make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll know the difference between what makes you feel good and what doesn't. You know, there's, how many times have you seen me come back on here and been like, you know what, this thing didn't make me feel good last week when I said this, and so I just want to go ahead and clear that up. You know, so trying to think if there's anything else, any other place I want to go through this. Yeah. I haven't read the chat yet. I did see Sarah going off all crazy in it, but I really hope that you guys take this message to heart. And I really hope that when you're struggling, if you're struggling, that you just remember to reach inside and remember who you really are. Remember the good things you are, because you are not your bad thoughts. In fact, that's what the Course in Miracles taught me again and again and again, that we are not our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. We are not this body. We are not the programs that are running in this brain. We are one and one thing only. We are love. And so get rid of all the lies. I'm asking you guys, get rid of all the lies, all the bad things that you tell yourself. You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. Those people don't like you. You know, they're all lying. They're all pretending. Get rid of all of that. It doesn't even matter. None of it even matters. What matters is love. I want you to let yourself feel that way. Let yourself feel love and just say, this is what it sounds like. Stop lying to yourself. This is what it sounds like. And then make your wish. You know, this is what I would love to see for all of us. I would love to see us all have miracles come that give us hope, that make us feel connected, because I know I am so desperately needing it. As of recently, I feel like I literally have gone to rock bottom with this character, Rumi. I feel like that is where I have gotten these past couple weeks, and I've just felt so disconnected. And so I'm trying, I'm throwing away all of it, and I'm just trying to get back to the basics. which is like this, guys. It's this. This is my voice without the lies. This is my voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to start to read the chat a little bit. I do got my little fake cigarette. I am doing pretty good on not smoking. I hope that I did the movie the justice, okay, that it deserves. Yes, remember that the moment is love. Remember that the moment contains love, right? Thank you, Selena. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. What in the heck? Oh, she was so happy I made her a moderator, too. All right, let's see what some people have to say. All right, now's the time for questions or anything in the chat that you want to say. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually be able to participate in the chat now. Girls' night. Oh, my God. She is so funny. Oh, my God. She is having a blast. Okay. Oh, okay. Victor has something to say here. Victor says, November is a term used to describe the practice of saying no to draining commitments, and during November to reclaim energy and focus, especially with the holiday season approaching. I really like that. The goal is to say no to things that don't align with your values or bring you joy, and say yes to the things that truly matter to you. I really like that, Victor. Yes, I agree. Oh, Barry Littleton showed up here. Wow. Yes, exactly. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see if I missed it. Sarah. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the K-pop. Oh, Chris showed up too. Hi there, Uncle Creepy. I hope you enjoyed the K-pop live stream, Sarah. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't even be talking about it. Oh my God, Maureen, you could even do it. You can do the things. Oh my God, I can't. I don't know how you guys do all that. You do got to Holland Sass. If you're still here, I hope you're still here. I don't know if someone told you in the chat. Yeah, there was a message for you at the beginning, Holland Sass. You were literally answered one of my prayers. So you answered one of my manifestations. I tried to tell you in the Blue Flame Collective meeting, as in like a private chat, but it didn't look like you saw it. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? Forget it. You don't even have to go back and watch it. I'll just tell you. I'm just going to tell you right now because I'm excited now that you're here. So I want to tell you real quick. And everyone else, you're just going to have to sit and listen to it again. Okay, so basically what I was saying was one of the manifestations that we included, me and my girlfriends, was to manifest me a certain amount financially as a tip from door dashing. Okay, and I recognized as the week or two was going by, and they were like, "Wow, why isn't it happening yet? Why, like, oh, we're having all these other manifestations happen. Why isn't it happening yet?" And I realized that it was my own blockage, and that I couldn't imagine someone tipping me that amount. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I just didn't believe in it. I could tell, like, I just didn't believe that it was possible. And so I decided, instead of focusing on it just being like a tip through DoorDash, that I would open myself up to that amount of money coming to me, no matter whatever way God would have it. Basically, I just said, I open myself up to allowing however it needs to happen for this financial amount to come through. Okay. And I did that literally a couple days before my stream last week. And when you donated to me, you answered the manifestation. You answered the prayer. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it meant to me. I don't know. I just want to thank you so much. Just thank you. I'm so happy. Like, you're giving me hope when I feel like I'm in a hopeless place. Let's just say that. Like, as much as I come out here and maybe I seem like I'm strong, and I seem like I have all this confidence and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, it's not, doesn't always feel that way inside. It seems like I'm able to put on a good front. You know what I'm saying? You're fine. You don't even worry about it. Thank you, Selena. Oh, let's pull a fortune cookie on that note. And I hope you guys absolutely love my hat, because I love it. This is my Jinyu hat. I can tell you, it actually reminds me a lot of the alchemist hat too, from the Holy Mountain. But I just feel like I don't know. It's weird to say this, but I feel like I've been a man a lot in past lives too. And I feel like I was a man in Korea. Yep. And that's why I love this hat. I feel like I was really just into this hat, this type of style, this type of dress. So, oh, Selena feels me. Yes. I don't know why. I just get the feeling. I mean, I know that we don't always incarnate as the same sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just get this feeling that I was a man a lot in the past. And I don't know. I don't know if it was like I don't know, do we do equal? Like, we did, so many male lifetimes. Now we're going to do so many female lifetimes. I don't know. I just know that I feel like, from as far as a man goes, I have been one a lot. You're preaching to the choir. Can I get the mic a little higher? Let me be your desire. I can be your sanctuary. Right? Oh, yeah. We definitely were probably men together, Selena. We probably were. Oh, wait, girl and her mom said that too. Yes. Yes, we are. We were. We definitely were. But we're girls this time, so. And I do like being a girl. I do like being a female. It has its pluses. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different experience. Mm-hmm. All right, so I promised my daughter I wouldn't be too long on here tonight. I don't even know how long I've been running. Oh, an hour and a half. Okay, cool. So that's not too long. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a fortune cookie. Thank you, Uncle Creepy. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and pull a fortune cookie. And let's let the bunny out. The bunny would be see-through though. See, because it's kind of like the hat is like see-through. Mm-hmm. We let the fire go out. This is the end of the night. Fighting with the golden crown. See how the fire went out. This one. Okay, there is a fortune in it. All right, perfect. Always have to check that. Okay. What message do we need to hear? Message needs to collect it here. Need to hear here. Okay. Yes. Ooh, we got a day of the week mentioned. Mondays are a chance for a fresh start. Make the most of it. All right. So a fresh start is coming Monday. So perhaps I will be completely through this transformation by Monday, because let me tell you guys, I've been in a bad place. Let's just say that. I've been in a bad place. Oh, girl, don't even start crying. We are not doing a crying scene again. But I haven't been feeling it. Like, I was even like, I don't know. I haven't been up for posting memes hardly. I basically just, like how Victor said, I've like been like no November. I've just been like, no, there's like, I'm not not watching anything. I'm not texting as much. I'm just like, I don't even know where to go next. I remember I told you guys that if I'm gonna have something different, then I have to do something completely different, and I have to make different choices than I've ever made before. And I've been telling you guys for the past couple weeks that I just feel like I've just been in this abyss type thing, and I don't know who I'm even going to be now. Like if I give all of that I am, everything back to God, and I let it go, and all this extra space is open, like what will that even be filled with? Like I don't even know. Like I got to the point where it was like, this is as good as it gets. I can't imagine it being any better than this. And then I'm like, well, hold up a second. Of course it can get better than that. Like, how did I manifest all that other stuff before? The dream house, the relationships, the musical experiences. It's like, because I had that desire in me and I wanted to see that. It's like, now that all of those things have happened for the most part, it's like, okay, well, what held me back from having it exactly right in the ways that I like certain things, like the house that I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, like, how will I ever even be able to get a better house? I never could see myself getting out of that original house that I was in when before I ever started making these streams. I couldn't even imagine how that would happen. But I opened myself up to God and the possibility that God could see things that I can't, that our higher self can see things that I can't, and understand things in ways that I can't. And so now I'm struggling to get back to that again in a way. It's like I am, but I'm not. Like, I think there's certain things I'm afraid of losing about myself. Oh, yes. It's like when you start to push, I've been studying these videos about the law of assumption and manifestation and all that type of stuff. And it's like, sometimes when you almost get to that goalpost, it's like like I told you guys last week, it's like all that subconscious programming pushes back really hard. And it's like, nope, you don't deserve any of that. You don't deserve that, because it's the subconscious programming. And so I'm recognizing that, and I'm starting to break it, right? Like God has to show me how to do that. Yeah. But I've been doing things part of how I've been doing that is I've been facing the things that have made me feel bad head on, like the cigarette smoking. I've been wearing nicotine patch and smoking a lot less cigarettes than what I was. That's making me feel better. I've been spending more time one-on-one with my children. It's like when I went through that trauma of being evicted from that house that I was living in, it's kind of like when I had to start door dashing, it felt like I just basically left my kids here alone. I'd be gone for those however many hours a day. And it's like, I'm so tired when I get home at night. And I just kind of relied on them being self-sufficient enough and just being like, I guess you could say I was just really down on myself. So it was like, they don't really even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's crazy. Okay, I get it. That's crazy. Of course your kids care, but some part of me felt completely disconnected. Like, I'm not, like, this is what I have to do. And now I have to suffer this punishment of not being able to be with my kids as much and not having the energy. And so I've been making an effort to reconnect with my older ones. The younger ones, they like, it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So it's like, of course they get me, but my older ones, those are the ones that I feel like have suffered the most, because they don't come asking for things like my younger ones do. And so I've let them kind of sit in the back and just be along for the ride. But now I'm seeing more and more that I know they need my presence just as much as the younger ones do. So I've been trying to step up and step forward back, and being more present in their life now too. And that has made me feel a lot better. Okay, so it's just little things like that. Let me just go on one more quick rant, honestly, guys, before I pull these cards. It just feels like, what has happened to this community? What has happened to this community? Like when I came here, when I started hanging out with everyone, it was like there was all these conferences that were happening all the time. There was all these channels with this new information that I liked to watch. You know what I'm saying? And I'll try my best not to name any names right now, but it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like the whole community has just been like shattered, and they're all in these little tiny bubble groups now, barriers, where it's like we're not connected like that anymore. And I feel so alone when it comes to that. I just feel like there is no community anymore. What happened to the community? That community is like, I don't even recognize it anymore. Like where I've come from, I don't even recognize it anymore. Like, I really don't want to get personal here when it comes to certain, like I have my core people, you know what I'm saying? The authentic people I still hang around and still go to and talk to and stuff like that. But it's like so many things that so many people or even channels that I thought were one way turned out to be completely different. And I'm just so tired of it. I just like, where do you even find community? Because it's like the higher up in consciousness you get. I'm talking about, like, and I don't mean to make it sound like that, but it's like I'm not interested in those same stories, and it seems like everyone is just repeating the same type of stories, and it's just like this, look at me, same type of stories, look at me, same type of story. And I want to hear about how their story can translate into my life. SSP stories are not going to translate into my life. How is that helpful to us? Other than just to get it out and to get your own personal viewpoint out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But how did that make you a better fucking person? How do we be better fucking people? That's what I want to know. How do we experience more love and happiness and having dreams come true and manifesting things in a way to where it's more fulfilling and we know ourselves better? Like, where is that group? What happened to that group? Because that's the group I thought I was a part of. That's the community, I should say, I thought I was a part of. Because I still do feel like I'm part of a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I don't know. It just feels like this is a transition of some sorts that I don't know what's going to happen or where it's going to go. It's like the only conference that I even see me even being able to attend is going to be in July, the Full Disclosure Now conference, right? But it's like, even the people that that are there, it's like, how do I fit in? Like, where do I fit in? I just feel like I'm such a different type of person. I'm coming from such a different type of place. I don't know how I fit in anymore. And I just feel alone and unwanted. And so it's like, we got people here in the group. We got people here in this chat. You guys are feeling me. You guys are part of my family. Susan, thanks for popping in. But it's like, how do we get that group together at places to do things? Like, how do we change all of this? Guys, I don't know. I'm in a rough place. Yeah, like, see, before that, the Journey to Truth conferences, they were in the Midwest, they were in Illinois. So it was like, I'm in Michigan, it made it easier for a certain section of people to come to these events, but now there really isn't any. And I don't know, I guess if you know of some, put it in the comments. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure, oh yeah, it's the YouTube law that you have to say, please subscribe to my channel and please give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to say before I pulled cards about last week's stream. I don't know, a couple people just dropped off though. Wonder who that was. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, everything is changing. And I don't know what it's changing into. I'm just going to keep going, though. I'm just going to keep doing the best that I can. Oh, hold on. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to miss the Journey to Truth conferences, too. Who's saying goodbye? Who's leaving? Maureen's going to be down there. Okay, good. See, because I'm relying on it. I'm relying on my soul family that's here and that I hang out with, like in the Blue Flame Collective and stuff. A lot of those people in there, I'm connected to those people on Facebook and everything. And so that's a good ideal, Selena. Like, how do we pull something together ourselves? That's a good ideal, actually. Who is this? Helios. Yes, I do, actually. I do offer. Oh, you sent me a Facebook message a week ago. I'm so sorry. I literally have the hardest time when it comes to Facebook messages, but I am trying to tackle that again. But you can email me at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com, and I actually have a website. Durr. I'm like, where is that going? Me and Victor finished the website. We finished the website. My website is finished. If you want to get a reading from me, if you want to see a little bit of part of my story, get access to my live streams, Victor, if you could, please put that in the chat if you want to send donations to me. Yes. It's Matthew. Hello there. Well, here's the thing, Matthew. Which Matthew? There's a lot. I know a lot of different Matthews. Matthew from Tampa. Okay. From Tampa. So from the conference, huh? Yes. We got a website going. I apologize for not remembering you just from you telling me that it's Matthew from Tampa. I apologize for this. Yes. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Ortez, right? Yes. So I would love to give you a reading. Oh my gosh, that would be absolutely phenomenal, amazing. I would love to. I'm looking forward to doing. I'm trying to figure out ways where I can. Well, I mean, I got my website now. I want to be able to do more readings for people. Let's go ahead and pull this week's collective. Right? Let's do it. Let's do our collective reading. Yes. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I would love to. Yes. Oh my God, see, that's what keeps me holding on. Thank you for giving me some hope there. Thank you for giving me some hope there, Matthew. I very much appreciate you. I appreciate all of you, really, really I do. Thank you for being a part of what I do here. Okay. Okay, I don't want to put any. Okay, let's clear the energy from the cards. Okay, but yes, you can email me at Aurora Diamond Heart because that's basically what the website's going to tell you to do too. I think we need to get some actual different types of prices up there as well. I don't think we haven't had a chance to do that as of yet. But yes, I was very, very happy that I think there's the one thing we need to do is we need to add the PayPal link or something like that. But we were going to do that today, but I got overwhelmed with everything I had to do. But thank you, Victor. Victor is an amazing website designer. I couldn't ask for a better friend or helper, really. So I just want to say thank you so much. Website looks good. Oh, thank you. All right, so let's say a little prayer for this card collective reading. In the name of the one and infinite creator of living light, I do humbly request that you please assist me in doing this reading for the collective, and that it reaches everyone in their own personal way, and that it resonates with them in their own personal way, and that it's easy for them to connect into. So I'm asking all of our higher selves to please join forces. And what message does God have for us for this collective here? What message? The Last Shuffle. The Last Shuffle. It sounds like a movie. The Last Shuffle. Yes. What does God have in store for us? Okay. So this is for the next, this energy right now and going forward here. What does God have to tell us, right? Okay. What does God have to tell us? 1, 2, and 3. First card we got is the Empress. Okay, so this is definitely about cycles and patterns, but it's about bigger cycles and patterns because you see how she has, she's got 12 stars there on her hat. Okay, so this is about cycles and patterns that have to do with self-nurturing and nurturing of others, because this is the ultimate mother goddess figure. You know, she's the one that brings fertility to the land. You could kind of think of her as like a Demeter if you're into any of the mythology. Okay, she's like Demeter. She's the one that brings the harvest. So this is about the patterns of like of the seasons, even. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see, like right now it's a harvest time. She's got the wheat there by her. Okay, and she's got a very big rod that she's holding. So she's the ruler of such things. She's the ruler of the feminine, the divine feminine. And so the energy that this card is bringing forward is very much about feminine love, beauty, finer details of things, doing things in a completely new way when it comes to how you express yourself, which is like kind of like what I was saying was like I got rid of everything that I have been. It's like that's still part of me. All those things are still a part of me, but it's like if you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, it's like you get stagnant, and it's like you're not growing with the time. So it's like it's time to grow. Like the seasons have to come and they have to go, and every season is going to bring something new, right? Everything's going to bring new fruit. Okay, like the same apple isn't going to stay on the tree for year after year after year. An apple drops and then the tree, goes into dormancy, and then it regrows another set of fruit. Okay, so what this card is asking us to look at is in which ways are we repeating our patterns and not doing anything different. See, like today, like I completely did something different. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to totally be cringe as hell, but I'm going to sing from my heart. I'm going to do something that my child self would be proud of the fact that I did, and so, because you have to do something new in order to not remain stagnant. Okay, I'm just looking at the rest of her outfit here, so see if there's anything else I can tell you guys. It's like she's wearing a crown. I mean, look at that crown. It's literally on fire. Okay, so it's like, let something new make your mind burn with something. Like let some new passion or desire come aflame, come alive in you. And obviously things, like I said, patterns, they come and they go, but it's time for something new. Okay. And they're just telling me, like, check your own personal astrology, because she has to do with us, astrology too. Okay. But she's like very well protected. Like she's surrounded by mountains. So I just feel like there's like a waterfall there. I just feel like that landscape there is important on some level for us today. So it's like be an immovable object, but at the same time, be an immovable object. That is weird, interesting, but also flow like the river. Be strong in who you are, right? But also let things that you're supposed to experience, your emotions, your feelings, let those flow through you. Okay, because that's where the stagnancy can come from. And I know I did say this last time too, but knowing where your Venus is in your astrology chart, your natal astrology chart, can tell you how you are able to better express yourself when it comes to this card's energy. Okay, like, so for instance, my Venus is in Cancer. in the 12th house, which has to do with like secret, like occult things of occult nature. All right. But in Cancer is the ultimate mother, right? I'm saying, so it's like, how am I going to show you, bring you the secrets of the divine feminine, so to speak? Like, so that's what I'm trying my best to do, have how, like, come here and express this to you guys. So look in your own chart to see how that might affect you personally. But that's our first card. We got this major arcana card. So the divine mother is guiding us. The divine feminine energy is guiding us. And it's trying to help us do things in a new way, a completely new way. Okay, let's see, that's part of the message. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next card we got is the Lovers card. We got 2 major arcana cards. So this is about divine union. This is about feeling connected, feeling seen. You know, it's making me think of the fact that, like in today's story, Rumi, I've actually said this before too. It's like, unless you are able to show yourself completely to someone, the good and the bad, the darkness and the light, how can they ever really truly love you for who you are if they aren't, if you're unable or unwilling to show them all of it? You know, that's the only time that you ever really get someone to love you for who you really are, is if you show that, you know. And this can even be on just a personal level. This doesn't have to be a romantic relationship partner, although that is really nice. And like, I myself personally hope to have something like this one day. But let's go into the inside, the individual level. Do you know yourself well enough? That is the first thing you need to be figuring out about who you are and what you're doing on this planet. Like, how do you your divine masculine and your divine feminine, how do they interact? And do they see each other? And do you have a balance with that? Because this is about a rebalancing. The divine feminine is taking the reins here, and she is trying to bring us back into alignment with this, having this more healthier inner union. Okay. I just love this card so much. Just look how pretty it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just one of the prettiest cards. Okay, so do you know yourself? You know what I'm saying? For me, even at the beginning of this whole journey for me, is I would start, you know, if you just go into a meditative state and you ask yourself, like, spiritually, to somehow show you what the relationship between your divine feminine and your divine masculine even looks like, and you'll see it. Like, the spirit will bring forward to you. Like, there could be things where it's like, the divine feminine is more in charge, and so therefore she doesn't really let the divine masculine talk that much, or maybe it's all in the masculine energy, and those things will play out outside yourself. Whatever's going on inside yourself will play out outside of yourself. So let's say if you're being like a pushover and you're letting people walk all over you and you're having no boundaries, you know what I'm saying? Like that's you leaning too much into your divine feminine. It's like, so therefore your divine masculine would need to step up to the plate and put their foot down and be like, no, like, I deserve to have this. I deserve to have that. Like, I'm not going to let myself be treated like that anymore. Like, that's a rebalancing of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in your life personally. Well, let's go ahead and let's see what the last part of the message is. What's the last part of the message? 1, 2, and 3. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Got this card pulled earlier in the same spot, pretty much. So we got the Ace of Rods. It is time. It is time to do things in a completely new way. You are making the shift. I mean, I like right here. This is proof. Okay, this is an example of what it looks like to make a complete and total shift of how you're doing things. You're going to do something in a completely new way. Okay, you have to follow what turns you on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what gets you excited? Like, this is about passion. This is about desire. Like, where's your next turn going to go? So, okay. So basically We got the Divine Mother trying to rebalance here with the Lover's card, okay? This inner union that you have with yourself, okay? And it's going to have to come at the cost of doing something a completely new and different way. Like what does a fire have to do? A fire has to burn, right? So what is it that you burn for? What does your heart burn for? We need to look inside. We need to see what it is, because this is a timeline shift opportunity. And we're at the beginning stage again. See, that's the thing, is it feels like there's been, especially this year, especially even just for me, like we've gotten to the end of a cycle. Okay. And the aces are the 1, you know what I'm saying? And next is the 2. All right. But what comes before the 1? The 10. So the 10 of rods would be packing up your stuff, getting it all up, carrying it away. Okay. That's what I'm seeing, because that's the 10 of rods, right? And it's like, okay, I finished my mission. I finished my task. I finished my job here. Now I have all these tools, I have all these things. And so now we're going to take it, we're going to do something completely new. Yeah, because the cycle of talking about something is just, it's over. Okay. Like we all are at the rock bottom here. We are at the rock bottom. It definitely feels like 2025 has been a hell of a year and a hell of a shift for all of us. I mean, I won't even get into politics, but maybe I should. Sarah, I heard her cracking up in there because she's doing this. But it's like all these things that I was so into, even like let's get it, like even with Trump. Like, what the hell happened with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like MAGA, all that talk about changing the world and doing all these things different, and it's no different. So all of this change, all we can really do is focus on ourselves and focus on doing something a new, completely different way. But it's like, if that was what brought us all together, because really that was what brought it together for me into this community, was the Q movement, I have to say. And the fact that Trump is posting Q stuff now while still like undoing undoing all the promises that he made for all of us. It's like, I'm so done with it. I'm so done with it. Yeah, 2025 sucked. It sucked big time, and I'm ready for it to be over, and I'm ready because that's the thing. It's like for me, all this stuff started to change. It's like this would be like what, an 8-year numerologically. You get to this 9-year. What is that? Yeah, we're in a 9-year. That's the end. Okay, and so now we go back to 1. All right, so all of this stuff needs to be finished, needs to be completed. I mean, there's so many huge astrological transitions that are happening right now, and I really hope that the K-pop Demon Hunters, the message behind it, that sinks in somehow, and that you all realize that we all need to find that harmony in our own heart. We need to find our voice, our truth, without the lies, and we need to encourage that in others, so that way we can fulfill the mission, so to speak. I mean, if we go with I don't know, I'm hearing this, like if we go based on the law of 1, 2, if this is all about the harvest, right? Supposedly we're going to see how many people are harvestable. It's like, focus on yourself, and the people that are like you will make themselves known, so to speak. Like, it's Carl Jung even says something like that. It's like, even when you're at a place where you feel like you're all alone, it's like people who are meant to help you will show up at the right times when they're meant to help you. It's like, keep asking yourself those questions about what is next. What would help me best? If you can't, because that's the thing, being a human, just a little human, like, we can't identify our own best interests. We do not know our own best interests. We cannot perceive them. That's what the Course in Miracles says. So we have to have God show us that. Who are we really? And what are we meant to do? And how does God want to have us work? Because look, God worked through Paul and Sass. God worked through Christelle to answer one of my prayers. And I always pay attention to the people that God works through like that, because that tells me something about the alignment that they're in and the course that we're on together. You know? So yeah, um, for everyone out there, I feel like for whatever energies we're going through, like it can't get any worse than this. And it is time to be nurturing to ourselves. It is time to be willing to see ourselves and let other people see us, so that way we can be truly loved and have true intimacy. And in order to do that, we have to do things in a completely new and different way. We have to follow, I mean, because the rods is all about doing, it's about actions. We have to take new actions. We've done all those same things before, and that's what I'm here to do now. Is I'm trying to find a new way of doing things. I feel like I know now I'm just repeating myself. Now I'm just being in the pattern of repeating myself. So I hope that message came through well. I hope that helps everyone in some way. If you stayed through the end, thank you. You're a real one for real. That's from another video that I watched. Some guy, he's like, if you stayed to the end, you're a real one for real. And it always makes me feel like, yeah, I'm a real one. I'm a real one for real. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sarah is just having a blast. I will say that Sarah is just having a blast in the chat, and I let her come in here this time because, yeah, you real one for real, Maureen. You definitely a real one. All you that are here that you stayed to the end, you real one for real. So, on that note, I think we have reached our time limit, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that has watched and everyone who bared with me through my song, because I had so much fun singing it and practicing it. Even though I messed it up on a few parts. And that's always hard to hear, but whatever. You only live once, right? I'm only going to live once in this body. So I'm going to take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. I love you guys very, very much. Oh, Selena. Love you. That's Zoe, by the way. Selena is Zoe. And Joanna is Mira. Sarah's cooking breakfast. Oh my God. She's going crazy. Oh yes. And Victor shared my my website one more time here. If you would like to donate to me, please feel free. I'm pretty sure he put the PayPal link in the description, not in the description, a PayPal link in the chat at some point. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I just know I'm like, if there's anything else anyone wants to say or has to say, I almost really want to get a cigarette. I want a real cigarette right now, honestly. I've been doing good, and I am going to treat myself with a real cigarette after this, because yeah, there's a donate page. Yes. So, White Swan, I love you too. All right. Is there anything else anyone has to say? Because I think I am going to end the stream. I think I'm going to end the stream in a second here. The light was so bright today too, guys. I don't know how this, I was like getting blinded. Yes, and happy Thanksgiving. Oh, let's see. Life of Brian. Thanks for coming. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joanna. I've had amazing. Joanna's a great energy worker as well. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, I'm like now I'm just like kind of like dragging ass. Because I don't want to leave yet. Because like I'm like, this is it, like okay, I can 2-hour mark. I'm like trying to end it at the 2-hour mark. I guess if no one has any questions, okay. I hope you all liked the K-pop Demon Hunters after Thanksgiving special. Have a great night. Thank you, Maureen. I love you all. Thank you all for coming. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. I love you. Take care. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Take care. Bye.